Hey guys, special edition of Truth Bombs. Jenny is at the heart of the flood zone in Texas, helping out, volunteering, giving food there to the people hit hardest in Kerr County by those floodwaters. Jenny, you're in Center Point, Texas. How is it out there?
Well, we're so blessed for all of the amazing volunteers that are here giving food, all of the amazing nonprofits that are here. There's a lot of energy here, a lot of positivity. Everybody's nice. It is really hot. So I'm going to start walking around so I can kind of show you guys what's happening here at the fire department. And yeah, we're here and we are here giving out all of our support.
Wow. It looks like none of the victims have arrived yet.
Yeah, so
A
this
lot of
is actually the fire department, and this is where all of the volunteers that have worked super hard are um, are getting catered by other local community member. So this is
Oh, I love that.
all for the volunteer.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah, so
amazing. And for people who don't know, Jenny's a professional chef, so you're donating your time to make food for those volunteers out there. That's wonderful. And
yeah.
what are people saying about the
Um,
scene
pe-
out there?
so I talked to several of the volunteers here. They call it a controlled chaos, and they were saying that it was really, really amazing for everybody to come together, and they really are giving just thanks to the all of the locals that are come together during this hard time to make all of this work.
Wow. Okay, so I want to show people where you're at. These are the different counties that got hit by the floodwaters. And then down in the center there, the center lower one is Kerr County, and that's where you're located right now.
Yes.
I looked up you're about an hour away from Camp Mystic, where the girls' camp that got hit so hard, and I read that nearly 100 people died in Kerr County where you are
Yeah.
alone. It looks like there's still road closures and things in that area. How was it?
Yeah, so driving here was actually very smooth. Coming from Houston, I just took 410, I-10, so I didn't have any hiccup coming here, but I'm not really sure where is the actual damage, but everything seems really cool here and very, very organized.
Well, that's good. Okay, who do you have with you?
So we have Artura here. I'm going to let him introduce himself and tell us how he's impacting the community and what he's doing with the community.
All
Hi
right.
there.
Hi, Arturo.
My name is Arturo. We're from the Blanco River Meat Company. This is day 7 for us out here. When I got here, they were still shoveling mud out of that building. Where we're standing right now, we'd be 22 feet underwater when the flood happened. So to see that, how it's progressed, and how we had so many people out here now just helping out. And I think most people are inclined to help. They want to do something. They just don't know what, So this is where the hub is, where all the volunteers go searching, for missing people and things like that. And we're just here to feed them, So at the end of the day, they need a hot meal, and that's what we can do. I can't go help search. That's not what I can do, but I can cook, and that's what we're trying to do.
That's amazing. So for the viewers listening, is there any way they can help out?
Well, we raised over $8,000, and I've got Target now fully sponsoring me. So we're doing really well. We should be here for the long haul. We have enough money to feed these folks 2,000 meals for the next 2 weeks. So we're doing okay right now.
Awesome. Well, thanks for what you're doing, Arturo. Great to talk to you.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna show you guys also some of the food that all of the volunteers are getting. So you guys can see they're getting some amazing tacos right there. Um, we have some Schaefer's here. Do you want? And this is some brisket. It looks moist. Oh my God! Look at that
Raspberry
food.
pecan turkey,
Raspberry pecan turkey, guys.
Amazing.
Some
ribs,
some pork ribs. sausage, and when it's all done, we get a gorgeous plate that looks like this that us volunteers are calling the Triple King. They're calling that the Triple King, guys. So this is amazing. So Ivory, back to you. Thank you so much again. I have to go back to work and
Awesome.
actually
Yeah.
serve these amazing volunteers. And I will see you guys next week on Truth Bomb. We're really, really excited to be here.
Sounds good, Jenny. Happy volunteering. Talk to you soon. All right. So, to catch you guys up, Trump and Melania actually arrived in Kerr County today. There's Melania on the ground there. Jenny actually didn't realize they were there. Maybe she'll run in. So that was Trump actually shaking hands with Greg Abbott, the governor there. Trump and Melania just arriving this morning in Kerr County to talk to the volunteers and the agencies and the victims of the flooding there. The latest reports are that 121 people have died across Texas due to the flooding. And like I showed you, it's in various different counties, but Kerr County, where Jenny is the absolute hardest hit there, between Austin and San Antonio, the hill country, which is known for flash flooding due to the terrain out there. But this was unheard of. It was 20 feet of water rise in 90 minutes off of that river, where Camp Mystic's cabins were right along the river, and the floodwaters just jumped 20 feet in 90 minutes that morning. Children waking up to floodwaters in their cabin, absolutely horrendous. So there was an NBC report on actually a dispatch call at 4 a.m. that morning, trying to alert people to get out of there, and that alert did not go out at the time that one of the firefighters had requested it. And then they get into stories of Camp Mystic survivors as well. It's pretty interesting. Here's the 1-minute report.
New dispatch audio obtained by NBC Austin affiliate KXAN revealing a volunteer firefighter asked to send a code red alert at 4:22 on the morning of July 4th.
Is there any way we can send a code red out to our Hunt residents asking them to find higher ground or stay home?
10-4, standby. We have to get that approved with our supervisor.
It's unclear when the first alert went out to Code Red subscribers, though the mayor says the first notification he received was at 6 a.m., 90 minutes later. City leaders say they are committed to a transparent and full review of processes.
It was apocalyptic.
Lisa Miller visiting Camp Mystic today after her 3 daughters survived, sharing how a counselor saved her youngest as the waters rose.
And it got up to her shoulders. So her counselor put her on her back to keep her safe.
A former Mystic camper herself, Miller says her daughter linked arms with girls in her cabin to keep from floating away.
Holding hands kind of in a chain.
My gosh. And so Trump has approved an emergency declaration there in Texas, which then allows FEMA to go in. So federal emergency agents will be on the ground there helping with the recovery as well. And there's a new report out from NBC that 4 different 1-in-1,000-year storms just happened the past week across the U.S. The first one, of course, was Texas. And then there was one in North Carolina with Tropical Storm Chantel on Sunday. Then Tuesday, New Mexico got hit. The mountainous terrain there, 180 miles south of Albuquerque, got slammed. 3 people died. There was video of a house flowing down the floodwaters. Again, an area where flash flooding can happen due to the terrain. And then Chicago got hit really hard with 5 inches of rain that fell in 90 minutes, and people had to be rescued there. No reports of deaths that I could see from Chicago or North Carolina. It's unclear on deaths there so far. But 4 1-in-1,000-year storms in 1 week. NBC added that there are a handful of 1-in-1,000-year storms that hit every year in various areas of America. Basically, any area of America, there's a chance of a storm like this happening, flooding like this happening. 1 in 1,000 chance. So these do happen every year, somewhere in America. And of course, NBC is saying this is due to climate change. The brainwashing on that topic continues. You know, a lot of you guys have bought into it. I haven't yet. I need to see more evidence that climate change is the cause of the freak disasters that have happened throughout history long before advanced technology and human development, which is alleged to be causing climate change today. These wild, wild, horrible storms and natural disasters happened way back when as well. It's just the unfortunate situation in nature. Now, a lot of people are speculating that these weather disasters were intentionally manufactured by people. And my ex-coworker, Mike Iskovitz over at Fox in Houston, actually addressed this rumor this week on the news, which I was delighted to see. He's a meteorologist, and in his weather report, he talked about cloud seeding and said that there actually is a company named Rainmakers that was cloud seeding the day before this disastrous rainfall. And but he, you know, from his analysis, he says that if that contributed at all is a very small amount. Who knows? You know, this is tough stuff to figure out. But I don't dive into the conspiracy theory bandwagon full-fledged like a lot of people do, because I look at the big picture and say, okay, before people had technology for cloud seeding, horrible disasters like this still happened. So nature, acts of God, they happen like this sometimes, and it's horrendous. That being said, they can still happen today. And I've also covered stories where a lot of people speculated that there was some horrible conspiracy, and I found evidence that it was not at all the case. In some cases, like the pandemic, there were horrendous conspiracies that were uncovered. That doesn't mean every single disaster, every single death is caused by a horrendous conspiracy. And so, I don't obsess over those things. It's just, I think, like Mike said, maybe if we paid more attention to like how can we alert people when something bad is coming like this quicker, focus on things like that, maybe that would be more beneficial. The other thing that makes me not jump to wild conclusions on this is I know this is extremely unpopular with my viewers to not be jumping to wild conclusions, but I'm just being extremely honest right now rather than clickbaiting all you guys. You know, covering wild, horrible flooding like this in Kentucky back when I was a reporter in Kentucky for 2 years, and that mountainous terrain was there too, and tiny creeks would swell to raging rivers after bad rainfall. And what would cause that is not only, heavy rains, but then the steep terrain cause those rains to run fast. Trees fall down, they block the creek, a natural dam forms, the water backs up, the dam breaks free, and all that backed up water on top of the additional water flowing creates such a raging torrent that house is swept away back in Kentucky in 2015 when I was reporting there as well. And back then I didn't see any, reports that, the government was definitely flying over top cloud seeding back then too. No, sometimes horrendous scenarios happen like this, where a natural dam forms, it breaks and gushes down and destroys your house. And freaks of nature are real. And that very well may be what happened. But a lot of people like to assume that there are extremely evil people who just want to intentionally kill people with weather. And that could be the case. And if so, I trust that those evil people will reap what they sow and their demise will happen. But I have no evidence of that, so I'm not going to jump into conspiracy theories acting like I know that there are people like that. So that's my take on what's happened with the flooding in Texas and across the country. If you guys haven't seen the update. I've been in Wisconsin with family all summer, so that's why I'm not out there on the scene. I'm way up in Wisconsin where our weather has been rainy, but not like that. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and thank you for tuning into this special edition of Truth Bombs. You can click the links down below to support our sponsors, which support us, which allow us to continue doing our little podcasting. Have a great one.